Hey everybody, have you ever seen an apartment listed for rent on one of those Facebook groups that you're a part of? Nobody can ever say anything nice about them, right? They're all negative about how, oh my god, the rent is so high. I'd never pay rent for that. You could buy a house for that much. Oh my god, I live in a mansion and I only pay $3 a month for my rent. Yeah, well, what they fail to tell you is that they may have bought a house for that much 40 years ago, or they live out in East Bum somewhere and you're trying to live downtown. So, can you really buy a house for what you pay in rent? Well, it depends. And I'm going to run those numbers for you here using actual real-life numbers from listings across the area. We're going to take a look. Can you actually afford to buy the house for what you pay in rent? Maybe. You need to know so you can make an informed decision for yourself regarding your personal situation. So, check this video out while we go through the numbers.
Before you become a buyer, you should prepare your financial profile for the banks. Banks will require much more information than a landlord if you want them to give you a mortgage. Contact your lender and get a checklist of files they will require from you. It usually includes multiple months of all your bank statements, paychecks, utility payments, investment accounts, tax returns, basically anything that has your name on it with some sort of money tied to it, either income, expenses, or debt. Do this today. Even if you aren't ready to buy, the more you've prepared, the easier it will be when you need to move fast and make an offer. But oh my god, that's so high! I'd never pay that. That's a ripoff. Landlords are greedy. They don't need that much. They should give me the apartment for free because I'm nice. Yeah. We hear it all the time. Buyers of anything in life always think the seller is asking too much, but they never really understand what goes into these pricing models. But the market is the market, so instead of focusing on the negative, let's analyze real numbers right now and see just how accurate these doomsday divas really are when it comes to your particular market. Real estate varies by location and even more by geographic region. And even within our state, there's great variety when it comes to real estate prices. For this discussion, we're going to look at actual property listings in this area. These numbers represent a great majority of the area outside of Boston, from north to south, and even out towards Worcester. Welcome, $1.25 please. Remember, the average rent in this area for 2 and 3 bedrooms ranges from about $1,300 to $1,900 a month and averages around $1,450 to $1,650. Of course, the numbers will depend on the property, amenities, etc., but these are the average. Now, what do you get for this high rent? In addition to your living space, you get on-call 24/7 maintenance. Just call the landlord if there's an issue with your roof, heating system, hot water. They'll take care of it for you. You don't have to worry. In fact, you should always call as soon as you think there's an issue. Call right away. Landlords would rather deal with a smaller issue now than a huge disaster later because you were afraid to call out of fear they would blame you. In this state, you're well protected from any negative reaction, but you must report any issue. You'll get snow removal in the winter and landscaping in the summer, free of charge. And any other issues that happen at your apartment, simply call the landlord and he will magically fix it at no cost to you, assuming you didn't cause the issue. When you buy, you'll have to take care of all of this on your own, and trust me, you will have to deal with it all in the first few years. So let's address the statement, you could buy a house for what you pay in rent. Let's say you pay the average of 2 and 3 bedroom rents and call it $1,550. If you pay more or less than that in real life, adjust accordingly for this example. Can you pay for a mortgage with this amount? As the owner of the house, you'll have to pay property taxes, insurance, and depending on your down payment and mortgage, you may have to pay mortgage insurance to the bank. This is the T/I part of your mortgage payment. The first being P/I for principal and interest. We can calculate these amounts pretty easy if we know the purchase price of the home. The average of 2 and 3 bedroom homes listed for sale right now is about $290,000. This ranges from about $130,000 to $700,000, but this is an average. The average of all homes listed in town right now is about $360,000. So knowing this, we can calculate the property tax and mortgage insurance within close estimates. Your mortgage insurance and property insurance will vary based on your particular situation. Property tax is $1,560 per $1,000 of value. Eventually, your appraised value will catch up to the sale price, so we can figure $4,500 a year for taxes. Mortgage insurance is about 1% of your loan, give or take, so that's another $2,900 for the year. Property insurance will likely range between $1,000 to $2,000 for the year, so let's call it $1,500. Monthly, that's $741. So from our $1,550 rent payment, $741 will be going to the government and other service providers. This leaves about $800 available to pay for your principal and interest. So, can we afford this average house? With a 3% down payment of about $8,700, our initial loan amount becomes about $281,000. This doesn't include any other closing amounts or escrows you might want to throw into the loan either. And please, leave as much out of the loan as possible or you'll be paying interest on it for 30 years. Interest rates today are about 4.18%, give or take, So we'll use that to calculate our payment using any number of available mortgage calculators or Excel. Plugging these numbers into our mortgage calculator for a 30-year loan tells us that the principal and interest amount of our loan will be $1,372. That's only principal and interest. So our total payment on this average price house in town will be about $2,000 a month. Remember, the taxes and insurance portion of this payment will continue to increase every year. I mean, have you ever seen taxes and insurance rates fall? Now, this is just a monthly payment. Don't forget, you'll need to pay for your own maintenance, new roofs, heating systems, windows, landscaping, snow removal. You need to pay for your water, electricity, cable, internet, renovations, furniture, everything you need. And before you can close on your loan, you'll need more money for closing costs, prepaid amounts to fund your escrow account for taxes and insurance. You'll need to actually pay the first year's insurance up front. And then there are government fees, recording fees, legal fees, etc. Lots of fees. You can do it, and I hope you asked me to help find your new home. But the point here was to show how there are very real and legitimate reasons for renting. So before you give your landlord a hard time for asking you to pay your rent, remember what you are actually paying for and what benefits you receive. The landlord-tenant relationship is an important one in your life. It's your home and their livelihood. The more understanding each side is of the other's predicament, the more successful a relationship it will be. And in case you're saying, right, I wouldn't need that big a house, I'd take out a much smaller loan, anything like this, check this out. The payment on a $150,000 loan is still close to $1,500 a month. And that doesn't include any rehab. And well, there's probably a reason that house only costs $150,000 in this area. Here's an actual listing description of a $150,000 home for sale in this area. Note the first sentence in the description. Home needs work. So folks, if you have any question about real estate, buying, renting, selling, give me a call. I'm Mike Topman, 508-386-5000. Download my free guides for you, facebook.com/Mike W. Topman or michaeltopman.com. Thanks everyone.